Junius George Groves, an African-American farmer and entrepreneur, is celebrated as one of the most prosperous Black Americans of the 19th and early 20th centuries. On April 12, 1859, Junius was born into slavery in Greene County, Kentucky, to Martin and Mary Anderson Groves. Although he could only attend school sporadically as a child, he harbored a strong desire for knowledge throughout his life. President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863, granted freedom to him and his parents a few years later.
Junius, the Exoduster, landed in Edwardsville, Kansas during the Exodus of 1879. Exoduster was a name given to Black Americans who migrated from states along the Mississippi River to Kansas in the late 19th century as part of the Exoduster movement or Exodus of 1879. It was the first general migration of Black people following the Civil War. As many as 40,000 Exodusters left the South to settle in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado.
At 19 years old, he began working at the meatpacking houses in Armourdale, Kansas, before relocating to Edwardsville, Kansas, where he became involved in sharecropping. Groves started growing potatoes when he and farmer Jake Williamson shared 9 acres of property. Initially earning 40 cents a day, Groves's wages increased to 75 cents a day after 3 months. Eventually, he received 1/3 of the crops harvested from Williamson's 9 acres. In his first year of sharecropping, Groves earned $125, which he used to purchase land, a milk cow, and other investments for his next crop. In 1880, he wed Matilda Emily Stewart from Kansas City, Missouri, and she partnered with him in the fields. Together they raised 14 children, with 12 of them surviving. By his second year, Groves managed 20 acres, and by the third year, he expanded his holdings to include an additional 10 acres and a cabin near Lake of the Forest. During the same period, he purchased 80 acres from a Native American for $500. Over time, he acquired a sawmill and 5 neighboring farms, accumulating over 760 acres in total. In addition to cultivating potatoes, Groves maintained apple, peach, and pear orchards, along with a vineyard. His children joined Junius and Matilda in working on the farm and other properties. Not only did he organize the Pleasant Hill Baptist Church Society in 1886, but he was also elected secretary of the Kaw Valley Potato Association in 1890. In 1891, the Historic Times, a newspaper based in Lawrence, Kansas, highlighted H.P. Ewing of Loring, Kansas, and Junius G. Groves as 2 of the most affluent Black men in the state. By 1895, the Kansas State Agricultural Census documented Groves as the owner of 400 acres dedicated to potatoes, 170 acres of apple orchards, 160 acres of cornfields, and 50 acres of cherry orchards. Additionally, he possessed 21 cows, 9 horses, and 24 hogs. By 1900, in addition to cultivating potatoes on his farms, Groves expanded his operations by purchasing and shipping potatoes, fruits, and vegetables like corn, cabbage, and carrots across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. In addition, the family owned the Crossroad grocery store in Edwardsville, had stock in Kansas banks, invested in mines in Mexico and Indian Territory, Oklahoma, and controlled the majority of the Kansas City Casket and Embalming Company. The State Negro Business League was co-founded by Junius Groves, who also held the position of president. During the early 1900s, he established the community of Groves Center near Edwardsville, where he sold small tracts of land to African American families. He also constructed a golf course for African Americans, potentially one of the first in the United States. The original deed of the famous Edwardsville Colored Cemetery, also known as the Stony Point Cemetery, bears his name. He and many of his family members are buried in the Franklin Cemetery, which he helped found. In 1902, the U.S. Department of Agriculture bestowed upon Groves the title of Potato King of the World for surpassing his nearest global competitor, by 11,500 bushels. His highly efficient potato cultivation resulted in a remarkable yield of 721,500 bushels in a single year. His considerable financial achievements, examined in Booker T. Washington's The Negro in Business in 1907, were leveraged to combat racism by offering economic opportunities to fellow Black Americans. Washington held Groves in high esteem, hailing him as our most successful Negro farmer. A significant portion of Groves's success stemmed from his 46 years of dedication to the agricultural field. Junius Groves ascended to become one of the wealthiest African Americans in the nation by the early 1900s. In 1904, his holdings were estimated to be worth $80,000. By 1905, he had acquired more than 500 acres of land. His interests were estimated to be worth $300,000 by 1915. During the pinnacle of his prosperity, he erected a 22-room mansion, outfitted with the latest conveniences of the era, all for the sum of $22,000. This expansive brick home boasted electric lighting, 2 telephones, and hot and cold running water in every bedroom. Crafted from red brick accented with white stone trimmings and a roof of red tile, the mansion showcased oak doors and stood as the largest residence in the region. Thanks to his substantial shipping volume, the Union Pacific Railroad laid a spur line to his property. Despite encountering racism during this period, he responded by offering economic opportunities to both blacks and whites. Employing as many as 50 laborers, primarily black, during the bustling farming season, Groves found ways to transcend racial barriers. In 1910, he held the position of vice president at the Sunflower State Agricultural Association. During the 1920s, Groves faced financial challenges, notably experiencing a loss of approximately $90,000 in a cattle venture. Additionally, 3 mansions he built over time mysteriously burned down, with the final one meeting its demise in 1968. Despite these setbacks, Groves remained a prominent philanthropist, regularly donating a portion of his annual crop to a local hospital. Junius Groves passed away from a heart attack at the age of 66 in Edwardsville on August 17, 1925. According to one local newspaper, his funeral drew the largest crowd ever seen in Edwardsville, with over 3,000 people in attendance. His wife Matilda survived him, passing away on August 28, 1930 at the age of 66. In 2007, Groves was honored by his descendants, the Votau Colony Museum, an organization dedicated to honoring the Exodusters and their descendants, and the city of Edwardsville. He was also recognized posthumously into the Bruce Watkins Cultural Heritage Center Hall of Fame in Kansas City, Missouri, which is not far away.